Good morning, writers. Let's get started by filling out our writing learning intentions. Make sure to fill out today's date, and today as a writer I am working on finding stories in ordinary places. The other day, you guys witnessed a little bit of a dramatic event in class that you were able to write your first news story on. But today I want to teach you that stories don't always have to be dramatic. Sometimes and often, journalists find stories in ordinary places they visit each day. For example, the cafeteria, the dinner table, even the hallways hold stories. Journalists often jot the names of these places on pages in their notebook and then start collecting stories about each as they emerge. So let's take a couple of minutes and think about different places where we might find stories. Give me a thumb up when you've got some ideas of different ordinary places that you might find some stories that you could write about. Turn and talk to your partner about those ideas. Maybe some of you said, at recess, in the lunchroom, in the hallway, in the classroom. You maybe even said at the grocery store, or the dinner table, or at your practice or games that you may have. Sometimes, like last week, we had baseball day, so that might even be an ordinary event that you could write about, and possibly our trip to Old World, Wisconsin. And there are many other ordinary places or ordinary events that could make great stories. Let's now take a look at an example news story created from an ordinary event that we all experienced. A Day of Learning at Old World, Wisconsin. Notice that it has a title, and every news story needs a title to catch the reader's attention. Here's the story. On Thursday, May 5th, 4th graders from Greenland Elementary School were ecstatic to spend a day learning outside of the classroom at Old World, Wisconsin. It was as if they traveled back in time to learn about what life in Wisconsin was like in the past. Some of the places they visited were the blacksmith, the general store, the shoe shop, the schoolhouse, and the Irish home. At each station, people were dressed as though they lived in the past, and they taught students about what life might have been like at those different places. At the blacksmith, students got to see how an S-hook was made by putting it in a fire and then shaping it with a hammer. At one point, a spark flew out into the crowd of kids, and the students jumped back. At the schoolhouse, students got to experience what it would have been like to go to school in a one-room schoolhouse and to write on slates instead of whiteboards and paper. At the Irish house, students even got to practice doing laundry on a washboard. At one point, the teacher overheard a student say, "This is the coolest field trip I've ever been on." Everybody had a fun day on this field trip while learning many new things. So today you'll be getting your very own journalist's notebooks where you can start collecting ideas of places where you could find stories and then start jotting down information or taking notes in those ordinary places. Today what we're going to do is when we go back to our seats, we're going to come up with some ordinary places where we might have some good ideas for stories, and then I would like you to start writing a story just as I wrote this one about Old World, Wisconsin. Work hard and make it a great day.